Welcome back to the Peer Purpose Podcast. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode. I'm so excited and so delighted to be here with you. As I said, season 3 is jam-packed with tons and tons of episodes that you're going to be able to take right now and start applying to your life. And so today, we're going to jump right in and I'm going to talk about the expectation of communication. This is a big one, and I hope by the end of this episode, you're going to start seeing that it's actually okay when you reach out to someone, whether it be through text, social media, whatever it is, that it's okay that they don't reply right away. And I know some of you probably just got anxiety by listening to that line because I know some of you expect an instant reply, and if you don't, I know that it becomes a problem for you, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're abandoning me, and then you basically get to a place where you start pushing them away. Well, I'm going to share a little bit even what that may be. Okay, so we're going to jump right into this. We actually have become a society today where people expect that instantaneous answer or replies, that instant gratification. Okay, that's what we expect today. I see it everywhere I go. Matter of fact, I get this a lot with kids that message me. I've had many kids that from time to time over the last couple years, when I message them or they message me and I see it and maybe I don't reply right away or say reply later, whatever it is, they get upset when I don't reply right away. And, contrary to what people may think, I don't just sit on Instagram waiting for people to message me, right? Obviously, I see my messages, but I might not get to it right away, okay? And I want you, after this episode, to be okay with knowing that if I text someone or I message someone or whatever it is, they may not get back to me right away, and that's okay, okay? And we open social media because we want that instant feeling of, man, that feels amazing, right? And we want to text a friend and expect an instant response, and we just get so upset if they don't get back to us right away. And so I'm going to break some of that. One of the things that I want to do is I want to break down some of the reasons why they may not get back to you right away, why people may not. There's a plethora of reasons. Matter of fact, I will tell you this right now. There's many friends that I message or I text. I may not hear from them right away. Some friends, it may be 2 weeks before they get back to me. Some may be 2 days. Right. But I know that. And now, of course, if it's urgent, that's a different thing. Right. I'll usually let them know, or they'll let me know, hey, Bobby, I need to talk to you. Or I'll say, hey, I really need to talk to you. It's urgent. But if I don't have any of that attached to my message, they're going to get back to me when they can, because why? They have a life. They're not just sitting around waiting for me to message them. They're not waiting around for me to just call them. They have a life. They have jobs, right? They have families. They have kids. A lot of different reasons in my world why people wouldn't instantly get back to me. But I want us to understand that we have to stop expecting that people should instantly reply to us. I believe, and I've heard this from other sources as well, texting was never meant to what it's turned into. It was never meant to be what it turned into today. And that's, well, you have your phone on you, and so guess what? You need to get back to me. And actually, we've actually created a really big problem because we expect that instant gratification. Okay, so I want us to understand this today. And then people just want to quit, and they're like, "Oh, they don't love me. They don't." No, that may not be true. It just may be they may be busy. So I'm going to give you a few of those today, and I hope that your mind gets put at ease after this, that you can be okay with living in your own world, okay, and going about your life, and it doesn't change who people are to you. That's the problem too. We think so many times people actually don't love us or they don't care about us if they're not talking to us constantly. I actually heard a story recently and it kind of made me sick to my stomach. I was at dinner last week with a friend and they told me that where they work at, they actually have kids that they work with. And they said that one of the kids that they have in there sits on the phone with their significant other all day long. And then while this person is at work, the other significant other watches them sleep and vice versa. And I'm just like, that is disgusting. And to me, that is so unhealthy. And it's like, that's what people think love and care looks like today. But that's actually what codependency and unhealthiness looks like. And the fact that you have not healed from the wounds and your rejection, your fear of rejection is through the roof. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. Okay. Let me give you a scenario. What if you text someone or you even call them and it goes straight to voicemail or they don't reply to you? Okay. And maybe let's just say you can't see it's delivered. I know sometimes you can see it's delivered, but let's just say for this sake of this story, you can't see that it's delivered. Okay. What if you text them and all of a sudden they don't get back to you and you're freaking out? You're like calling them and texting them and calling them and texting them and you're messaging them on social media and all the above. And all of a sudden you're like, I'm done with you. It's over. I'm canceling you. Because that's what we do too. That's super, super, super unhealthy. And what if they get back to you like a day later or a couple hours later? It's like, my phone was dead. I was out with my family. I didn't have my charger with me. Like, we have to understand that we have to not think that an instant reply means that someone is just dodging us or ghosting us. And there's a difference between ghosting and just not getting to you right now. Ghosting is true ghosting. I've talked about this on this podcast before. When someone ghosts you, they'll literally do that. I used to do that years and years ago. I would disappear on people. And we didn't even have all the fancy social media that we have now. We didn't have half the apps. So it was easier to dodge people back then, and I could disappear on people. All you have to do is block a number, right? And so back then, that's what it was. But ghosting, if you're being ghosted, you're going to know. Chances are you're going to be blocked and everything. They're not going to talk to you anymore, okay? And let me just tell you something else. If they live in the same town as you and they go to the same school as you, they're probably not going to be able to ghost you. Like, you still are with them, right? You're not going to be able to ghost them, and they're not going to be able to ghost you. And so that's not really ghosting. That's what it looks like if someone has really just blocked you and got rid of you. I've been ghosted before, right? That's what that looks like. And so we have to understand the difference. No, they have life. Life happens. They have family, right? They have homework. When you get to my case, you friends, they have kids, right? Most of my friends have kids. They're married. They have families. They have other things going on. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I have the freedom that they don't have, right? So I can't expect sitting around all day, I can call him at any time. No, I can't, right? And so understanding that we have to get rid of that expectation of instant reply. First of all, you're going to drive yourself nuts if all you expect is someone to continue to, every time you text, to be on standby and call to say, oh yeah, here they come. And then they don't do it. You're setting yourself up for failure. You are driving your anxiety through the roof, and you are actually making it harder to be in relationship with people because you are taking on something that you don't need to, because you cannot fill it within yourself. This all comes back to being healthy. Okay, believe it or not, it goes hand in hand in every area of your life. So I want us to understand that today. Another thing that will help you do this, you have to learn to communicate outside of social media. We are not wired to sit behind a screen and message people all night long. That is not what we are wired to do. We are wired for face-to-face interaction because that's what was placed inside of us as human beings. There's no way around it. We're not robots. This isn't AI, right? We are wired for face-to-face relationships. So another thing that will help you not expect someone to come back to you right away is if you get to a place where you only say, you know what, I'm going to learn how to communicate outside of social media. I'm going to learn how to talk to people. I'm going to learn how to actually build friendships and be with people and spend time with them. Okay, understanding that we have reduced people to an algorithm. That's what we've reduced people to. We've reduced them to an algorithm. We've reduced them to sit and wait, right? And they didn't see our message, they saw our message. That's what we've reduced people to, okay? We've dehumanized them. That's what we've done. We have to understand that if when we dehumanize people, that they just sit on their phone all day long, I'm telling you right now, I can't sit on my phone all day long. Sure, I need it for certain things, but I can't sit on my phone all day long. I can't sit in my apps and scrolling. It drives me crazy. It's doom scrolling. I can't do it. I can do a little bit of it, but even lately, more and more, it's getting more and easy for me just to sit and scroll. I don't want to do that. Okay? I have a life to live. I have friends to go hang out with. I have dinners to go to. I have books to read, right? Different things like that. Sometimes I just want to put my phone down and unplug and go for a drive. I do that many times. But we dehumanize people, and we think that all they do is sit on social media waiting to interact with people. No, you have to learn to get outside of that and say, I'm going to learn how to talk to people at school. I'm going to make new friends. Because if you can build relationships with people, you're not going to worry about what's happening on social media. I've said this once, I'll say it again. It's not real. Social media is not real. There's real people for the most part behind those accounts, but it's not real. It's creating a highlight version of life. And you wonder why you never think you live up, because you always see someone else and what they show you and that their life is better than yours, even though it's not. Okay? We have to get back to the human desire, the desire to connect with other human beings. We have to get back to where we say, I'm not going to put my burden on you to fix me. You know, I was talking about this the other day, actually, and we live in this world, and it's pride, what it is, and it's unhealthiness, it's codependency, but we live in this world. People are like, oh, I can fix them. I have so many kids come to me every single week about relationships. I thought I could fix them. Yeah, you can't. It's not your job to. And I even said, one of the kids said, well, that's the therapist's job. I go, no, it's not the therapist's job to fix you. It's the therapist's job to give you the tools for you to apply that will eventually help your situation and further you in it. That will fix it. But it's not going to be enough just to sit in a room with someone. You have to actually do what you're being asked to do. So no one can fix anybody else. That's a false expectation and a burden. You're only causing more turmoil for yourself and the other person, because they're going to try to carry a burden for you, and you may try to carry a burden for them that you're never going to ever be able to carry, because we're not made to do that. Okay? We've stopped getting to a place where we don't want to talk to anybody anymore. We just want to text, and we expect that reply right now. No. Stop expecting a reply. Stop expecting a reply right away. People have lives to live. Their life isn't to just be at your beck and call. That may sound harsh, but I got to be real today. Okay? We have to understand that people aren't just here to serve you. We have to stop. I've said this once before, and I'll say it again. We have to stop acting like people are there to meet our needs. That's not why people are placed on this earth. Will we meet needs with other humans? Yes, we will. But that's not the goal. Okay? Understand that. We have to get to a place where we take in consideration, where we bring consideration for others back into play. It's not just about us. If you message me and I don't get back to you, I still love you. I'm still with you. I still care about you. It doesn't change how I feel. Our relationship doesn't change. But just know I have other things going on. And your friends probably do too. And honestly, it'll probably do some of you some good not to talk to certain people all night and all day. That's not helping you. It's only making you more codependent, and it's going to hurt you in the long run. Okay? Here's a few of the things why we have gotten to this place. And this is why we hold on super tight. And let me just tell you something. The more you hold on to something, the tighter you hold on to it, the more chance you have to lose it. Well, a lot of things I see is reason why we are like this, people, is because we have a big fear of being rejected. And I believe that has only gotten worse as this digital age has ramped up, because now we have lost that human connection. And so we expect the connection on the internet, and we may not have many friends in person. So the ones we do have, we don't want to lose. And so we try to hold on as tight as we can in control. Well, control is rooted in fear. And if you're scared of rejection, that's why you do the things you do and expect that instant reply. But you have to get to a place where you're okay with the word no. You have to be okay with that, okay? This digital age has made us so lonely that when we find a friend, we just want to make sure we hold on so tight and we don't let them leave. Can't do that. That's not real. That's unhealthy. Imagine if you have these habits when you get older and you get married and you're supposed to be with your husband or your wife, but you're over there worried about your friend Jane not talking to you, but she has a family and she has kids and you're supposed to be with your kids. And all of a sudden, I mean, you would think that is foolish. Well, you are bringing those habits with you. Habits don't die if you don't change them. What you're doing now, you are shaping belief systems inside of you, and you are molding yourself to be a certain way. And so that will happen no matter if you're 15 or 25. How do you know that, Bobby? Because I've seen it. I've seen adults do this. Absolutely. I have many adults that have entered my world in the last how many years, and a lot of them don't have boundaries. They call me at all hours of the night. They don't text before. And so you know what I do? Voicemail. Call you later. Custom replies. No, I'm getting ready to crash. I'm not going to take your phone call because I know what this is about. We will talk tomorrow. Okay? We have gotten rid of consideration for others. We don't have boundaries. And I'm talking about adults, and I'm not talking about 20, 30-year-old. I'm talking about even older than that. Just call at any time. And like I just have nothing going on. Sorry, not going to happen. I get it back to them, but it's not going to be in that moment. Now, there's some people that I will talk to right now. Of course, there's some people that got that pass. They can just talk to me. And they can call me anytime they call. For the most part, I will answer them. Okay, I'm sure we all have those people, right? But that's a different circumstance because these aren't the people that call me all the time, right? So if they call me, I know they need something, right? So understand that, okay? We've lost consideration. We got to get back to that. The fear of rejection is why we try to hold on so tight. And again, fear shows up as control. That's why. And so you want to try to control other people. You want to control the outcome. We hold on so tightly. And that means that we just want to say, you know what? I want to control this outcome. I want it to come out my way. And so we just hold on. So we can't be surprised. So there's no shocks that come our way. We want it all predictable. Okay? The more we hold on to something, I said it, the more we hold on to something, the more you have chance you have to lose it. Control is no way to go. And that's never going to be long-term lasting. Okay. I want you to get to a place with this where you start saying, I don't need an instant reply. It's going to take some practice, y'all. I will tell you that. You're going to have to work on this. This is going to be something that you're going to have to intentionally do and put your phone down and say, and stop watching their social media and stop watching their green light and stop watching their active status and their location. Stop doing it. Okay? Start working on living your life And I promise you will actually make better relationships outside of social media and behind the phone than you will on it. And once you do that, you can understand that we're friends. That's not changing. I don't need to control them. Okay? We got into a crazy place in our world today. I really don't get it. We think certain things are okay and they're just not. I actually was watching this is the last thing I'll say. I was watching a podcast today or a clip. I was scrolling through a reel and I was watching that today, and it was a wife talking about her husband who is like, literally, I guess her husband is like obsessed with his business. And I guess it's been very successful, and that's cool for them. But it was weird that this wife was talking about how her husband, actually, I might even react to this. I might react to this video because it's crazy to me. Like, I'm just like, this is so unhealthy. And she was talking about how the sacrifice of him being obsessive that she has to make, and that she's okay with it. And then that she has to take care of his emotions and his spirituality. I'm like, whoa, what? But yet she can't put hers on him. And I'm like, no. That is it's, I believe, I'll have to go back and look, but it had lots of likes and views. I'm like, no, that is false. That is a lie. We are not responsible for other people's emotions and spirituality and different things like that. That is a burden that we are not meant to carry. We cannot bear that with them. Sure, we will be there for the person, but that's basically living the person's life for them. No. It's his job to handle his emotions and be in check. It's his job for his spirituality. It's not yours. And that's just like the norm that's becoming today. And it's like we're putting it all on other people. All right, meet my needs. No. It's not about getting your needs met. It's not about that. Those will happen. You have to get to a place where you're considerate of others and you're a productive member of our society. People don't like their own emotions because they don't know how to handle them. Okay? It's time we stop putting everything else on everyone else and take responsibility for our lives. And I promise you, you'll be more proud of what you build there than doing the other thing. I love y'all. You're going to be okay. I'm with you. We're going to keep climbing this thing out, all right? There's so much gold inside of you that's going to help you walk the greatness outside of you. Continue to live whole and a full life, and I'll see you next time. Love y'all.
Next.